Assalamu alaikum students. Now we're going to start our first practice set. So in this chapter two practice sets are there 2.1 and 2.2, and this year second practice set, that is 2.2, is reduced from your syllabus. So only one practice set we have to do in this chapter. So we'll start this practice set 2.1. And that question number 1 is identify with reason which of the following are Pythagorean triplets. Now I will explain you how we have to solve this question. So here total 6 sub questions are there, and all can be solved by the same method. So I will show you only the first and second one, and remaining 4 will be homework to you. Same way you have to do. So now we'll see how to solve this question. So here I have taken the first sub question of the question number 1, and the numbers are given here 3, 5 and 4. Now how to prove whether they are Pythagorean triplets or not. So first of all, out of this 3 given number, we will select the big number. So the big number is here 5. After taking the big number, we will take the square of this larger, greater, bigger, whatever we can say. So the square of the larger number we have to take. So I will take the square of the larger number, that is 5, and then we'll take the square. So 5 square we get 25, and I have given it equation number 1. After selecting the largest number, now we have to take the sum of squares of remaining 2 sides and 2 numbers. So here we will take the 2 numbers remaining are 3 as well as 4. Now I will take the square of 3, then I will take the square of 4, and then I will going to add these 2 squares. So here I will take square of 3 plus square of 4. Okay. Now what will be square of 3? 9, and the square of 4 will be 16. So we will take here 9 plus 16, and what will be the addition of 9 plus 16? It will be 25, and I will give it equation number 2. After getting this, again I will explain till here what we have done. Out of the 3 given number, first of all we will select the larger number. So the larger number is 5. Then we have to take the square of the larger number. So square of larger number will be 25. I have given it equation 1. After that, we will take the square of the remaining 2 number, and we will going to add it. So we will take 3 square plus 4 square. So 3 square will be 9. 4 square will be 16. Then 9 plus 16 will be 25. I have given it equation number 2. Now we'll compare equation 1 and 2 and see the answer. Whether we are getting the same number. Yes, so we are getting the same number here 25. So what we can write? From equation 1 and equation 2, we are getting 5 square is equal to 3 square plus 4 square. So we will take that only, that from equation 1 and 2, 5 square is equal to 3 square plus 4 square. Now how to convert this line in statement? So this 5 square is nothing but the square of the larger number. So the square of the larger number is equal to sum of squares of remaining 2 numbers. The square of the larger number is equal to sum of squares of other 2 numbers or remaining 2 numbers. See here, so how I have written the statement, the square of the largest number is equal to the sum of the squares of the other 2 numbers. So whenever we are getting the square of the larger number will be equal to sum of squares of another 2 number, then we can say that these 3 numbers 3, 5 and 4, because it is nothing but the application of Pythagoras theorem. In right angle triangle, always hypotenuse is the largest side. So hypotenuse square is equal to sum of squares of remaining 2 sides. So it is giving the same statement. Therefore we can say these 3 numbers are Pythagorean triplets. So this 3, 5, 4, this sequence is a Pythagorean triplet. So in this way we have completed our first sub question of question number 1. Similarly, we will see the second sub question of 8. So second is here 4, 9, 12. Again we will apply the same method. So out of 4, 9 and 12, which one is greater? Exactly. So 12 is greatest number. So we have to select the greatest number, then we have to do the square of it. So we will take 12 square. That is the square of 12 is nothing but 144, and I'll give it equation number 1. After selecting the largest number, now what to do? We have to take the sum of squares of these two numbers. So I will take 4 square plus 9 square. So I will take here 4 square plus 9 square. So here the value of 4 square will be 16, and value of 4 square will be value of 4 square will be 16, and the value of 9 square will be 81. And when we will do the addition of 16 and 81, it will be 97. And I have given it equation number 2. Now we have to compare the answers of equation 1 and 2. So equation 1 is having 144, equation 2 is having 97. So whether both are equal? No, they are not having the same answer. So what we can write? See the above line. From equation 1 and 2, this square of 12 is not equal to square of 4 plus square of 9. So we will take that only. From equation 1 and 2, this square of 12 is not equal to square of 4 plus square of 9. Now how to write the statement for this? That is, square of the largest number is not equal to sum of squares of remaining two numbers. Therefore, these three numbers is not a Pythagorean triplet. So see the statement. The square of the largest number is not equal to the sum of the squares of the other two number. So we are not getting this same. That means the answers are not same of equation 1 and 2. Therefore, this 3 number 4, 9, 12 is not a Pythagorean triplet. So I have shown you what to write whenever they are having the Pythagorean triplet and what to write whenever they are not having the Pythagorean triplet. So both the type I have explained you. So in the same way you have to solve the remaining sub questions of question number 1. Now we are going to start question number 2. So in figure 2.17, so this is the figure 2.17, this is the figure for second question. Angle MNP is equal to 90 degree. MNP is equal to 90 degree. Then NQ is perpendicular on MP. This NQ is perpendicular on hypotenuse MP. The value of MQ is given as 9. The value of this QP is given as 4. Then we have to find the value of this NQ. So this NQ is nothing but the perpendicular or the altitude drawn on the hypotenuse. So for solving this, for finding this NQ, we are going to use here geometric mean, because this NQ square will be product of these two sides, that is MQ and QP. So we will see how to solve this question. So here I have taken the same figure for question number 2, which is already given us in the textbook. After that we will write all the given things. So this is the given thing. Already we have read it in the textbook that angle MNP is 90, segment NQ is perpendicular on segment MP. Then the value of MQ is 9, QP is 4. Then we will write to find. So we have to find the value of NQ. Now we will see the solution. So in the solution first we will write this only, that triangle MNP, angle MNP is 90 degree, and from the vertex of 90 degree here one of the perpendicular is drawn on hypotenuse. So what the statement will write first? In triangle MNP, angle MNP is 90 degree, segment NQ is perpendicular on MP. This is the required condition to apply the geometric mean. If the perpendicular is given and the hypotenuse, then only we can apply the geometric mean. So now we'll see the solution. See the solution. The first line we have taken same. In triangle MNP, angle MNP is 90 degree, segment NQ is perpendicular on segment MP. Then we will apply the geometric mean, that is NQ square will be equal to MQ into QP. So see, NQ square is equal to MQ into QP, and the reason is theorem of geometric mean. Now we'll apply the values. So the value of this MQ is 9, value of this QP is 4. So we'll apply both the values here. So NQ square is equal to 9 into 4. Now 9 4s are 36. So NQ square will be 36. Now we have to remove this square. So for removing the square, we are taking the square root of both the side. So taking square root of both the side, this square will remove, and the root of this 36 will be 6. So NQ is equal to 6. So we have got the value of NQ. So we have completed here our question number 2. Now we'll start our question number 3. So in figure 2.18, so this is the figure for question number 3. Here angle QPR is equal to 90 degree. Angle QPR is 90 degree. It is already shown in the figure. It is 90 degree. Then segment PM perpendicular on segment QR. Segment PM is perpendicular. Here the perpendicular sign is not given, but it is given in the statement of question. So we can show here that it is perpendicular on QR, such that Q dash M dash R. So here the betweenness is given Q, M, R. All these 3 points are collinear. Then PM is given 10, QM is given 8. This PM is 10, QM is 8. Then we have to find the value of QR. That means this we want to find. So again it is the similar type of the second one. As we have solved the second question, same way we will do here also. It is the perpendicular again from the vertex of right angle on the hypotenuse. So definitely we can apply the geometric mean here also. So now we'll see how to solve this question. So here I have taken the same figure which is already given us in the textbook. Here we have to take the perpendicular sign. In figure it is not given, but in the statement of question it is there. Now we will write first all the given thing. So we have taken the angle QPR is 90 degree. Then segment PM is perpendicular on QR, and some of the values are given, that is PM is 10, QM is 8. Then we have to find the value of QR. Now first of all, in the solution we'll write the statement that in triangle PQR, angle QPR is equal to 90 degree. Then PM is perpendicular on QR. Therefore, we can apply the geometric mean. So, see the statement in solution. In triangle PQR, angle QPR is 90 degree. PM is perpendicular on QR. Then, this PM square will be equal to QM into MR. So, we know the PM, we know QM. So, we can find MR. After getting MR, whenever we'll add QM plus MR, we can get the value of QR, and this only we want to find. So in this way we can find the value of QR. So see, we will apply geometric mean, that is PM square will be equal to QM into MR. So we will take that only. PM square is equal to QM into MR, and the reason is theorem of geometric mean. Now we'll apply the value. PM is 10, QM is 8. So we'll write 10 square will be equal to 8 into MR. So 10 square will be equal to 8 into MR. Then 10 square is nothing but 100. So 100 is equal to 8 into MR. Now this 8 is in multiply. If I will take here, so it will come in division. So we will take this 8 on another side, so it will come in division. Now this 8 and 100 we can cancel by 4 also. So 4 2s are 8. Then 4 2s are 8. 2 will remain. It will become 20. 4 5s are 20. Again this we will cancel by 2. So 2 1s are 2. Then 2 1s are 2. 2 2s are 4. 1 will remain. Put the decimal. 2 5s are 10. So in this way we have got 12.5. So value of MR is 12.5. Now we got this MR is 12.5. Now this QM plus MR will going to add, so we can get the value of QR. So we'll do the same way. QR is equal to QM plus MR because all these 3 points are collinear. Value of QM we have 8. value of MR we have got now only, that is 12.5. So we can apply both the values. Now here only 8 is there, no decimal. So we can take the here 0. So here 0 plus 5, 5, and 8 plus 12, 20. So in this way QR we have got 20.5. So in this way we have completed our question number 3. Now we'll start our question number 4. So our question number 4 is, see figure 2.19. So this is 2.19. So this is the figure for question number 4. Find RP and PS. RP this side and PS this side, using the information given in triangle PSR. Some of the information is given. See, this angle S is 90 degree. This SR is given as 6. And this angle P is given as 30 degree. Okay, so these are the information given, and we have to find the value of these two sides, that is RP and PS. So now we'll see how to solve this question. So here I have taken the same figure which is already given us in the textbook for question number 4. After that we will write all the given thing. So in triangle PSR, angle PSR is given as 90 degree. Value of angle P is 30 degree. Then this side SR is 6. So we have taken that only. Angle S is 90, angle P is 30, and SR is 6. After that we will write to find. So what to find? Here we have to find the value of RP and PS. Now if you'll observe triangle PSR, two angle we know. So we will use the property here. What is the sum of all the three angles of a triangle? Definitely it will be 180 degree. So if we know the value of two angle, can we find the value of the third angle? Yes. So we can find first of all the value of angle R. So we'll start our solution. We will write in triangle PSR, angle P, angle R, S and angle R will be equal to 180 degree. So angle P, angle S and angle R is equal to 180 degree because of the property sum of all the angles of a triangle. Now P is 30 degree, SI 90 degree. We want to find angle R. So we'll apply their values. So 30 plus 90 is equal to angle R. Now 30 plus 90 is nothing but 120 degree. So we have got here 120 plus angle R is equal to 180 degree. Now this plus 120, if we will take on other side, it will become minus 120. So here we have got angle R is 180 minus 120, and 180 minus 120 is nothing but 60 degree. So we have got value of this angle R is nothing but 60 degree. Now observe this triangle carefully. It is in this triangle. Can we apply any of the property? Before starting with the theorem of this chapter, I have explained you two properties. First property is property of 30, 60, 90 triangle. See the angle of the triangle. It is 30, 60, 90. So we can apply the property of 30, 60, 90 here. What is the property of 30, 60, 90? The side opposite to 90 is half of the hypotenuse, and the side opposite to 60 is root 3 upon 2 times of hypotenuse. Now here one of the side is known to us, that is SR. Now if you will see carefully, this SR is nothing but the side opposite to 30 degrees. So we will start the solution from here only. First of all we will write, as we have got angle R is 60 degree, we can say triangle PSR is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. Now we will start from this side SR only. SR is the side opposite to 30. And we know that the side opposite to 30 is half of the hypotenuse. So SR is equal to half into hypotenuse because it is the side opposite to 30 degree. Now the value of SR, we know it is 6. Half we will take like that only. Which side is hypotenuse here? Hypotenuse means the side opposite to 90. So it is RP or PR. So we will take that side only. So 6 is equal to 1 upon 2 and hypotenuse is RP. Now this 2 is in multiplication. If I will take here, so it will come in division. So 6 into 2 is equal to RP. 6 2s are 12. So the value of RP will be equal to 12. So we have got this side. So RP is 12. RP is nothing but the hypotenuse we got. Now we want to find this side PS. So this side PS is nothing but the side opposite to 60. And the side opposite to 60 will be root 3 upon 2 times of hypotenuse. So same property we'll use here. So PS is equal to root 3 upon 2 into hypotenuse, because this side is side opposite to 60 degree. So PS we have to find root 3 upon 2. I will take like that only. And hypotenuse is nothing but side RP. So I will apply here the name of the hypotenuse, that is RP. But the value of RP now only we got, that is 12. So we can apply the value of RP here, that is 12. So we have applied here. Now this 2 and 12 we can cancel by 2. So 2 ones are 2, 2 6 are 12. So root 3 into 6 is nothing but 6 root 3, because the numbers we are writing first and then root number. So PS is equal to 6 root 3. So in this way we have got the value of PS also and value of RP also. So we have completed our question number 4.